Hi, everybody, and welcome to Increased Wisdom. I'm Davina, an energy healer, intuitive, holistic therapist, mentor, and a home educated mum of three. And I'm creating this little video to talk a little bit about what it's like to mentor with me. I do various different types of mentoring, and I like the word mentor as opposed to coach because the way that I teach and support other people to tap into their potential is not prescriptive or, I guess, a one size fits all model. It's not like that. Because for me, the one thing that I have learned through my experiences in life is that every single one of us is completely unique. Even a pair of identical twins is completely unique. And when it comes to healing tools, when it comes to support and teaching, when it comes to our stories individually that we may be reaching out to a mentor for, we all have something very, very different going on in our lives. So no two teaching sessions, no two support services that I offer to two different people are ever the same. My mentoring is as unique as you are, and it is tailored to your needs. But it can cover lots of the things that people go to life coaches for, or that sort of support service. As a mum, I have those skills that I have developed by being an intuitive mother, a conscious mum, a natural mum. These are all things that I learned for myself through my raising of my own daughters because I didn't want to raise them the way that I've been raised, with authoritarian parenting, with strict structure and routine, and with indoctrination. You can learn more about my upbringing on my other channel. And that is the way that I chose to be a mum is actually the foundation of what then led me into holistic therapies and intuitive healing line of support and service to humanity. There was a lot I learned through mothering my own daughters that made me realize where I had wounds and emotional health and mental health issues, I guess, at the time, where my stories, my upbringing had caused trauma, which it was well into my years as a mum that I realised was complex PTSD. And as I've moved through my healing journey myself, and as I've learned the therapeutic practices and the energy healing that I use and support people using, I have learned a lot about how to lead, guide, and teach other people to tap into their potential. And the world is full of people who are confused, burnt out, overwhelmed, overstretched, and conditioned by society, by the systemic structure of the world, to see themselves as incapable or unsuccessful or broken, in need of healing perpetually and forever. And I think my own experiences that when we begin to really deepen into shared support, we step out of that conditioned belief and into a much broader, wider perspective. So when people come to me for mentoring, there's never going to be the same thing done for one as is done for another. It is completely unique. And that's why my mentoring is so deep, it's so meaningful, and it is such a powerful energy exchange that it's valuable to you. So when you book an energy match call with me, when you book an energy match call with me to see if what you require and what I can offer is a match, and to see if we can build a process together that will suit you, I ask a series of questions. I will ask you when you book, I will send you an email saying, like, share as much as you want in this email, in the reply to this email, because the more you give to me before we have our little chat that's 30 minutes long, before you before we have that time together, the more that I know about you, who you are, what your journey is, what your family life is like, what your health is like, what your hopes and dreams are, what your ideas are, why it is that you're looking for a mentor in the first place. The more information I have like that before we have our chat together, the less time is spent on the chat sharing that information with me. I can have a good read of it before our session, and then I can be like, right, so these are my tools that I have that I think this individual will be interested in, and this is how I can use them. And I can give you a demonstration through the call of how we would use that. This is really particularly helpful if you share like your date and time of birth when you book the energy match call, because then I can look at your human design and your astrology, and I can look at what it is that maybe your energetic blueprint has in store for you, and can already get a picture of you as a human. So when you respond to my email when I acknowledge your booking, that is the perfect time to just share it all. And that really sets the tone for what my mentoring is like. I want it all. I want you to share absolutely everything, warts and all. I want all the truth from you, how you feel about your parents, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your partner, how you feel about your children, how you feel about your workmates, how you feel about your friends, your relationships, the people in your life that you cannot stand. I want to know it all, because the more that I know, and you don't have to put all of that in the email, but through our mentoring time together, whether you're coming and see me for a short period of time, for a few weeks, whether you're going to go for like a full 6-month package, or whether you're actually going to go all out and have a 12 months nurtured soul max package, which I promise you is the next level of mentoring support that you will receive, because that just brings all of my gifts to the table all in one go. And when we do that, you learn so much about yourself by sharing it with me, by sharing and vocalizing, by sharing in written form everything that's gone on in your life. You really get to know yourself, and healing happens. The next level of our lives happen. The breaking free from our conditioning happens when we get to really know ourselves. And sometimes, just because of the way of the world, we've not really even gotten to know ourselves. We don't know who we are, or we've had a life event that makes us forget who we are. One of the big ones of them that happens for us is when we become a mum or a dad, because our world suddenly drastically changes. We realise that there are people dependent on us in the world, our babies. There are other people who are impacted by that, our partner. So if you like become a mum, the dad or your partner is impacted. Or if you are the dad, your wife, your spouse, your partner, whoever is the other parent is impacted. So whatever it is that happens when you have that level of life change, it can be really, really easy to lose who you are at your core. And you may think you know who you are before that happens, but then you realize that there's a different layer to you that you didn't know before. And I know people who really do know themselves when they have babies, and then they find more of themselves. And that is because when we create life, we create a new part of ourselves. And then there's other life-changing situations that can happen. A death of a spouse, for example, can be life-changing. Chronic illness can be life-changing. Meeting a partner, that's pretty life-changing too. Or having to make a decision to cut somebody off, or being cut off by your family. All of these things are so life-changing that we can lose parts of ourselves, but also that is an opportunity to find the depth of our soul that we didn't even know was there. So having sent me an email back going, here's my life story, and me having read it and looked at your human design and astrology and got a real feel for who you are, I then have a series of questions that I can bring out some of the points that you may have touched on in your email, or I will pick up from things in your email to ask questions on specifically. But mostly I want to know what it is that's made you reach out to a mentor. And what then, like, the story is behind that, and why you are feeling that you had that need arise, and what you'd like to get from it, where you see yourself in like 3 months or 6 months or a year. And if you're coming in for nurtured soul, you are going to probably change what those thoughts are with each quarter of our 12 months together. You're going to be like, yeah, I want this to happen. And then you're suddenly like 3 months down the line going, oh my goodness, I didn't expect this to come up in my life. Having a mentor there through life-changing events is really super powerful. It's really life-changing. It's really eye-opening, and it's just so that there is nothing else like it, to have somebody holding you through a life-changing situation, or holding you past it. One, if you've come through a life-changing situation and you lost and confused or overwhelmed, or looking to re-find or reclaim parts of yourself. Maybe you realised, as I did at like 40, that you had complex PTSD, and you're like, oh my God, how do I deal with that? Because there's gaps in mainstream healthcare that don't take into account all of us. They don't take into account how our emotions impact our physical body. They don't take into account how our spiritual connection, our energetic frequency impacts our emotions and mental health and our physical body. Having a holistic approach to support healthcare, wellness, well-being is seeing you for all of who you are. And all of you is welcome in the room with me when you come to see me, or when you join me on Zoom. All of you is welcome in the room. Even the parts that may be completely different to parts of me, then we get to explore that in a sacred container of compassion for you and compassion for all of your experience, and explore where you can navigate through that for the best healing experience for you from your trauma. And that's life-changing. When you begin to let go of the identity of the traumatized person, when you begin to let go of that identity and move into the identity of someone who's even neutral towards people who've hurt us, that's powerful. That like frees up your whole energy field to have peace, to feel calm again, to feel hope that there's something better that you can feel. And that's the start of healing from traumatic experiences. So that's part of the mentoring journey that we go through. And maybe it's not deep trauma wounds that you want to explore, have a desire to explore. Maybe you are a mum or a dad who has been raised in one particular way, and you've started raising your children that way, and then you're like, this isn't working for me, or it's not working for them. Or you might read a book like Sarah Smith's books on gentle parenting and be like, maybe I can try a different way with this. Maybe you begin to recognize your own limiting thoughts and beliefs and be like, I don't want to put that on my children. I don't want to raise my son or my daughter, my offspring that way. I don't want to have them thinking that this is the only way that life can be. And that's another great thing that we can go through, like how to be a more conscious mum or dad towards your offspring. That's really powerful. And since I have a great deal of experience in running businesses and working with and around entrepreneurs, and because I have a great deal of experience of navigating challenging financial situations and doing that with a place of calm and peace within, that's a powerful tool that gets to be brought into supporting you as well. Because change is afoot in the world at large, where more and more people are realizing that there's different ways to open the doors to a more prosperous life. And there's different ways and means to navigate financial situations. And lots of the things that are systemic control in the world are actually there to make you feel small and make you feel inferior and make you feel like you have to act a certain way to be successful or be a certain way to be successful. Or you have to be a certain age, and if you're not successful by a certain age, then you're an absolute failure. And that's not true. That's really not true. Whatever it is that lights you up, that makes you feel excited and joyful, whatever your unique gifts are, and we all have unique gifts that we're actually really good at, that usually we take those for granted, and they all can be of such valuable support to other people that there can be this energy exchange where they exchange energy with us because they need the service or the gifts that we have, and we receive energy, and it just creates such a different way of exchanging energy, whether that's financial energy or some other means, to change the whole wealth paradigm of the planet, because that's ultimately where things are going. If you look at the ancient prophecies of spiritual communities from around the world, and I'm talking ancient, I'm not talking the Bible here, it's like that's a modern book by ancient standards. If you look at the astrology and where that is now at this time compared to other really significant times in history, or the completely unique astrological placements that are happening in our time now. They've never happened in known memory or history. It's a powerful time to step into your power. There's a little bit excessive use of the word power there. It is like it's a really, really unique, profound, exciting, and maybe a little nerve-wracking time to be stepping into your power in this moment in time and receiving support from somebody who's been there and done that and got the t-shirt and has navigated their own life into something that feels a little bit more peaceful, even amid the chaos. If you can find peace or success or satisfaction or contentment in amidst chaotic life changing situations, you actually nailed the meaning of life. You've actually really created exactly what it is that you most desire, because we do live in crazy times and we are all looking for a way to feel more at ease. But most of us have got really, really shot nervous systems. Or we're carrying genetic imprints and genetic patterning from people who've had shot nervous systems, sometimes literally. So to step into a held container or a held space with somebody who's living it and lived it is just really super powerful for you. And that's the beauty of receiving mentoring. It's not about being told what to do. It's about showing you that you know what to do. You've just forgotten or been made to think you can't possibly know what to do. And if you're really, really interested in coming and receiving mentoring support from me, you can look at the Creative Life Support page on my website, Mentoring with Davina. It is indigoskyeholistic.com/creative-life-support. And you can reach out to me on any of my social media platforms to ask any questions. Or you can book an energy match call and have a chat with me face to face about your needs and your requirements. And that can be short term, a matter of a few weeks, 12, 13 sessions, 3 months, or it can be a whole year of everything, from human design readings to quantum energy clearing to having energy healing sessions, to having EFT, tailor-made EFT videos for you, to having even aromatherapy blends or crystal elixirs made for you to your specific needs and helping you and supporting you with all of your life. Because that's really, really powerful. And to have that level of support, that is just going to change your life. And I'm here for you. So you can find the links to book or to read more about mentoring me in the description. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye.